Hello and welcome back to the White Paper channel. Today we're going to be discussing mRNA 1010, 1020, and 1030. A prerequisite kind of is to have read the material from the post I made yesterday. If you didn't read it, you could still just fumble through it. Okay, so I was going to make my own slides, and the more I started digging, the more I realized Moderna actually had some excellent slides from 2 years ago when they presented their phase 1 results for the mRNA 1010. So I thought we could just go through these. I'm not going to spend time on every slide because not every slide is actually worth much. It's only a few of them are, where the money is. So that's where we're going to focus. So we're skipping slides 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, go back to 4. So this picture breaks down the structure of the influenza viron. As you can see, it focuses on the hemagglutinin, which helps the virus infect your cells, and the neuraminidase, which is how it cuts copies of itself off of you. Currently, most vaccinations focus on the hemagglutinins, while the treatments, like Tamiflu or oseltamivir, focus on inhibiting the neuraminidase. So hemagglutinin is prevention, neuraminidase is treatment. They go through some more pictures. They talk about the value of the current flu market. Now, this is one of the parts that I wanted to really focus on. And you all know I've started using Chat GPT, and that's kind of what made me go down this rabbit hole. So currently, and I guess if you're looking at this picture with me, let's start focusing on the bars first. So as you see this chart, this is the vaccine efficacy of the current flu vaccines. So as you can see, right, let's focus on most recent years, 17 to 18, 18 to 19, and 19 to 20. You're talking about efficacy below 40%. And then if you see this line graph that's above it, that shows how well the vaccine was actually matched to the virus that was circulating. So as you can see, even though we're doing a decent job of matching the strains, the vaccines are just not that effective. And there are a number of reasons for this, but this is why Moderna thinks that they can very strongly get their foot in the door. Okay. This picture here shows all the different circulating strains of the flu in the different regions that they're there. So as you can see, we have the UK, Switzerland, the USA, Japan, and Canada. And at any point in time, you may have wildly different circulating strains of the flu, but it's not cost efficient to produce a different strain. Well, for the current producers, to produce a different strain for everybody in the world. So everybody in the world just gets the same as Australia. And that's because Australia's winter season is during our summer season. So we kind of get a peek at, what strain is circulating early there. Moderna has stated that since they are able to adapt their viruses within their vaccines within a month, that they can actually give a more accurate flu vaccine to everyone every year, and they're even considering making them region specific. So, person in Japan's getting a different strain vaccine than the one in America. One other large difference is, even though you're protected against one strain, one of the other circulating strains may get you. And so currently most vaccine makers are limited by, limited by 3 different strains. And as we've seen with, 3 different antigens, as we've seen with the current cancer vaccine, the PCV, Moderna's thrown 34 antigens on there. So they're saying, hey, we can make you pretty much protected against every strain that's circulating. Now, I'm going to jump back one slide. And as you can see, even if you have a good matchup, you may still get infected. And so this led to Moderna thinking about making the mRNA 1020. So if someone does get infected with the flu virus, they take Tamiflu or oseltamivir, and that is a medication that treats the infection. It inhibits the neuraminidase. And so Moderna is simply saying, hey, we can add a neuraminidase antigen on our current vaccine. That's a part of the virus that doesn't mutate as often. If it does mutate, it often makes the virus less efficient at growing, and so you end up at spreading. So you end up with a less fit virus. So instead of getting infected and then taking Tamiflu, in your vaccine, you will teach your own body how to basically make a biological Tamiflu. So by the time you're infected, you're already receiving the treatment as well. And so that made me think, okay, well, how effective is Tamiflu at inhibiting or at preventing infection? And the answer is about 50%. So 50% of people who are exposed and receive Tamiflu within 24 hours, 50% of them are less likely to get infected. So that's some really good odds. So basically, if I'm going to jump back a couple slides again, if you're in the 2019-2020 picture and you're in the 61% of people who still get infected even though you received the vaccine, you are now looking at a further 50% reduction in the odds that you will be infected. Thereby granting you an extra, 30 something percent. So, this is really huge. All right. They also mentioned some further details like the mRNA 1012. I'm not going to get into that. Then let's see. We already know about the phase 1 data. I won't talk about that. And I think that's probably all I'm going to focus on for today.